Yes, 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 my people all over the world. What are we saying? Oh, how are we on this Friday evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are? It is Red Cartel settings. We are live and direct again from Redmen 2's HQ over in Liverpool. We have got another panel list of cartel members tonight, all out here representing for their clubs and looking to hold it down for the fan representation. Got some new faces. Yeah. We got some new recruits over the summer. A little bit like some of the busier clubs, getting busy, getting active. But I am joined, very fortunate. I had a couple of hours to chop it up with Enz earlier today, and he said, "Yeah, man, let me return a favour and show some love and jump on the Cartel show." So got Enz in the building, big Liverpool fan, and we've also got man like Matt down there. He tucked away there, but you know he is a big Arsenal fan as well. Just D is back as well, and we've got Greg in the cut. Flawless is in and around, and he will probably be showing his face in the next couple of minutes, and Tezza will join us. But first of all, lads, it's Friday. How are we feeling? How are we?
Some better than most, man. I tell you that much, bro. That's all I can say.
We're all good. Easy. We're chilling.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're feeling.
Nice. All good. Greg, you've been doing up soft launches with Dua Lipa. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's not too major, man. Just happened to be on Dua Lipa's story on Tuesday night, so just you know what I mean, guys. It's fine. Listen, I'll do this. I'm gonna do this live, and then if you have my number, just delete it because gone clear.
Where's your? Didn't you have a champagne? Didn't you have a champagne that you was meant to pop?
No, like that was on the 27th of April. So don't you worry about the champagne, lad. Don't you worry, because that was gone, lad. We've been there, done that already. So don't you worry about
that. Love that. Big up Tezza as well for just joining us. Big up. But yeah, lads, obviously there's no, where our teams are concerned, there's no World Club Cup football going on or anything like that for us. We can firmly just concentrate on transfers, players, incomings and outgoings. I kind of just wanted to get some of your guys' thoughts and feelings, really. And I was going to start with Matt from an Arsenal perspective. It almost looks as though Berta has woken up. He said, all right, I've been sleeping. I've been caught doing the edu on the yacht, having a nap. Now I'm awake. It's time to get it cracking. It's time to get busy. Do you share that sentiment that now it's starting to feel like Arsenal are starting to turn up in this transfer window?
Yeah, listen, I feel like it was always going to happen. Obviously, we've got frustrations. I think Arsenal fans, there's a lot of PTSD, previous transfer windows, all of that. I hear it. January should have signed a striker. It's frustrating, Edu. But we always heard Zubimini 1st of July. They mentioned July, they count. July. You saw Kepa signed. You saw Norgard. Yes, they're not game-changing, ceiling-raising signings, but I think it's getting them little ones out of the way. We know how hard getting a striker is. We know how hard getting a winger is. So I think it's one of them where it's like, let's get the little bits done, and then we can really focus on what we're going to do regarding striker or do winger. And it's exciting. Like, I can't lie. I'm reading a lot of Arsenal fans getting frustrated. I hear it. But be excited. Josh Kroenke said it best. Be excited, man. Good things are coming. And I think we're going to get 3 game-changing signings. That's just how I feel.
Do you know what, though? You make an interesting point, and I'll just come back to that quick before I throw it over to Just and see what obviously Dee's thinking on this one. That usually you do try and spend the early part of your window trying to get your big players, getting the game changes, as you say, and then whatever time you've got left towards the end, you start doing a little bit of wheeler dealer, do you know what I mean, Del Boy Rodney settings, and just try and bring in what you can kind of get over the line towards the back end. But you've kind of reversed it, because you think if they're light work and they're easy to get the signatures for and agree those deals, then that should still leave you a good chunk of time to then only really focus on the players that are going to then hopefully galvanize you and take you to the next level. D, what are your thoughts? Do you have any concerns right now about how Arsenal and the board level have been moving?
Yeah, I'm not so far on the right side, but I'm a little bit more on the other side to where Matt is. I see it more as not just priorities, but get the things that we need to get done first, then we can figure out the stopgaps after. I'm more on that. I'm more on all we need is a striker and a left winger. That is the main thing. If you get a striker and a left winger in the summer window, I wouldn't even care about the left back, the backup keeper, the backup centre midfield. I wouldn't even be too bothered. I'll be so much like, yes, we've done what we need to do. Everything else, like you think, okay, now what else do we need? I'm not doing it. We all know we need a big squad, but we definitely need a better first 11 before we need a big squad. That's the difference.
Okay.
It's about what you need more than the other. And I'm not, obviously, we know we need Norgard, we know we need Kepa. Do you think I care if we've got Kepa or Neto on the bench? Do you think I care which backup goalkeepers on the bench? I'll be like, I know Kepa's better than Neto, but I don't care. I would much rather Martinelli be on the bench than Kepa be on the bench. I don't care about Kepa being on the bench. That's where I'm at. We've got to compete with Liverpool, you know. Liverpool won the league. They got the best centre back in the generation. They got the best right winger of our generation, and they've gone and bought £150 million attacking midfielder, sorted out their right back, sorted out their left back. We're trying to back up goalkeepers and back up centre midfielders.
Don't load them too much, man. They're smiling too much. Don't load them.
Oh, this is the truth.
I was trying to hold it, but I was trying to hold it.
I can see Errol going to this. Ends laughing.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? Yeah, you're going to a boxing fight. You're going to a boxing fight, and you're looking at a man's strengths. You're trying to win. If you're trying to win, you got to look at how you're going to dissect the opposition, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a smart. You got to be clever. We have to dissect Liverpool, bro. We haven't just got to dissect Liverpool. We've got to dissect Newcastle, Chelsea, and Man City. But Liverpool are the top. So we've got to dissect these guys, bro. And they're adding quality onto the team that already just won the league, bro.
What I was saying to Ends before on M stream, they quick math. At this moment in time, we're the apex team in the Premier League. Do you get it? Like, we are that team. And the way you've just said about we've got to dissect the Newcastles, the Chelseas, the this one and that one, I'm like, that's not even our concern anymore. Like, I don't know if we've gone that far clear, but from where my mindset is, it's like, bro, there isn't a team around me right now that pound for pound is giving me any real cause for concern. I'm concerned about what we can do, and we've already built on a championship winning team. So it's going to be interesting, put it that way. Matt?
No, I was just going to say quickly, like, I hear what Dee's saying, and obviously there are a lot of fans that feel that way, but we're going to get them signings done. I think our first pre-season game, or we go on tour 23rd, I think, AC Milan away, Singapore.
Well, we didn't sign anyone in January, you know. No one in January. And last summer, we signed a backup left back in Calafiori and a backup centre midfielder in Marino.
But you remember under what director, sporting director? I'm not saying Berta's the go. I'm not saying Berta's the go. However, I'm saying we can't say much until the transfer window's done. I can sit here now and say...
No, but he asked me up to this point, innit? He asked me up to this point.
Okay. I
he didn't ask... Yeah, he asked me up to this point. Up to this point, the window is we've lost our best midfielder. Partey's our best midfielder. We've lost our best midfielder and we brought in Norgard. That's a downgrade.
Which I don't think was just football, you know. I don't think that was just football. I don't want to go into it too deep. I don't.
Well, it's not just football, it's money, because we're saving 13 million a season signing Norgard. We're saving 13 million. 13 million a season is enough for me to keep Partey. I would pay 13 million a season to keep Partey there.
I just think there's a lot more behind the scenes than the football. I personally think, if they could have, they would have. I think there's something else going on. That's just my personal opinion.
No, but that's just your fault.
I think there's a reason behind it. But listen, I could be completely wrong. And I hear you. When I saw Norgard, I weren't lauding it. You can see I ain't posted nothing about Norgard. I was like, what? Why have we done that? But Liverpool, don't get me wrong, they're getting everyone frustrated because they've won bang, Kerkez, bang, this, that. I hear it. Liverpool didn't spend for however long. They've always been good in the market. Michael Edwards has come back. Absolute genius. Sells players for great money, signs good players. I hear it. That's fair. We're on a trajectory where we don't know what Berta's about. Come the end of the window, then I'm going to look and go, do you know what? All right, cool. Let's see what we're doing now.
Yeah, but our pre-season starts in a couple of weeks, you know.
I hear it, but listen, whenever have Arsenal had a pre-season? Like, I'm talking from when I started supporting Arsenal.
Then why bring Berta in if it's going to be the same thing?
Different in terms of negotiations. Like, Edu was there. We should have signed Juan Garcia as a goalkeeper. We didn't due to Edu. We know how Edu drags negotiations in terms of players. That's why we've missed out on so many players. We could have gone in Jan and got a what?
So up to this point, what would you give it out of 10 up to this point now?
Oh, listen, 4 to 5. Like, it's not a great
5.
Window. Yeah.
We've lost our best midfielder. How can it be a 5?
Bro, it's calm. Everyone's stressing. It's calm.
I'm not stressing. I'm saying what the situation is. Our best midfielder.
Right now, we've got no...
That's like Gravenberch leaving, and then you bringing in... You know what I mean? And then thinking that we've lost our best midfielder, bro.
Brother, the same midfielder, his best midfielder, but he had bozo moments. I don't care what anyone says. He still had his bozo moments. Good player. Still had those money.
Well, let me just be, because I can enjoy it. As you can probably tell, the Liverpool lads are just loving this. The back and forth is brilliant, yeah? But I just want to ask about United. So, based on what both of the lads are saying there, I'll come to Flawless and I'll come to Tezza real quick. There seems to be an expectation that Berta has got to deliver in this window. And now I understand these are the times where you do want at board level people to be making the decisive actions to kick a team on and to rebuild squads and all the rest of it. But there seems to be a short space of time where there's an expectation for results with Berta, as in players. And then when you flip it to the other side, Mikel Arteta is, well, how long's a piece of string? You can just keep doing what you're doing. Do you think that there's a bit of a disparity going on there? Or do you think, yeah, actually, ultimately, you are a sporting director, so yeah, you do need to deliver and you don't get the same grace as what managers should?
Go on, Tezza.
Well, with the Berta thing, it's interesting because obviously he's been known in the past to kind of get the deals done, which are kind of the bigger name signings. So obviously, I think from Arsenal perspective, that's probably what they're looking for him to seal the deal on their top left winger or their top striker, etc. But I think the issue with the players that Arsenal are trying to go for, they're not straightforward signings to do. And I think the players that they're looking at, for example, if it's Rodrigo or now they're being linked with Eze, these aren't signings that are just going to happen instantly, especially when you've changed your director of football, sporting director, within the last year or so. Because, for example, Liverpool signing Wirtz for big money, they probably started that. Apparently, they started doing that deal last October when you played them in the Champions League. So you need to have all that background work happening 6-7 months in advance for it to kind of run smoothly.
So for that to land, then, do you think the likes of a Rodrigo and an Eze, do you think they're better signings, or do you think they've already been in the background on the table before he's kind of come into the role, and now the pressure's on him to deliver those players?
I think it would have been a mixture. I think Berta would have probably come in with his own ideas of, if this is the area that you're looking for, these are the players that I could potentially bring in. And then Arteta and the club would have probably identified 2 or 3 players as well, and then it's a conversation between Arteta and Berta and the club to say which one is the most financial viable, like who can we get, which won't take too much of the budget up for us to still get a striker. That's probably why there's been a slow kind of procedure in signing the striker that they want. But on top of that as well, these are 2, when I say 2, I'm talking about the left wing and striker, very, very expensive outlays, which Arsenal probably don't normally do at the same time. They probably do one or the other. So it's different. It's a different ball game for them because they're probably going to look to spend 120, 150 million on 2 players at one go. So I think it probably takes a little bit more time and care because they're going to have to assess outgoings as well to balance that. So I think Arsenal are doing the right thing in terms of Partey's going, Jorginho's going. They need a backup keeper. Get them in straight away if the market opportunities are there, and then take more time to bring in the big players that they need.
Okay. Flawless, what about yourself? Do you think it's fair that the pressure's there now on Berta to deliver this transfer window?
Yeah, it's very fair. You're an Arsenal Football Club. Like, you've come in with a big expectation and you're playing a key role in bringing in players. So, of course, fans are going to be on his case. The window's not closed yet, so he could still deliver. If they manage to go get Eze and Rodrigo alongside all of the other signings they've made, he'll get the plaudits. And rightfully so if they have a window like that, throwing a Gyökeres, throwing a Sesko, etc. However, if they fall short, which we've seen Arsenal do time and time again in the window, you should hold criticism. Will he get grace from the Arsenal board? Yes, because they have a manager there who's been failing for a number of years, and he gets grace. So, of course, he'll get grace from the board. However, fans should be on his case. You have to deliver. This is why you have been brought in, is to take us over the line. Like, he comes in, it's a big reputation. He's not unknown. Everyone can talk about what he did.
He's arguably one of the most experienced footballing people at Arsenal at this moment in time. There's a case for that.
So that's it. So when you come in with that type of reputation and what you've already done already, then Arsenal fans have every right to be thinking, okay, this is what you're brought in to do, deliver for us. Now, if they fall short, is it all on him? No. But do you play a major role in that? Yes, because like I said, on the flip side, if it goes well, it's going to be better this, better that. He got a lot of hype from some, not all Arsenal fans, from some Arsenal fans as soon as he signed, before even doing anything. So you can't put him on his pedestal and then not hold him to those high standards. So it'll be interesting to see what he actually does.
Okay. Let me ask the Liverpool lads just really quick. Because I know the answer is no, I'm not worried about Arsenal right here, right now, based on the business that they've done. What signings would Arsenal have to do before now and the end of the season for us to genuinely have back that same conversation we had 12 months ago, where you knew Arsenal, City were going to be in and around pushing for a league title?
Probably Vinicius Jr. Those type of signings, bro. I'm not scared of these, man. Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, will Arsenal compete? Yes, of course they will. They're a good team. But I look at what we've done and I'm like, how do you even match that? Because I know where we're heading and what we're about to do. You're talking about fixing the issues, Trent leaving, get a right back. We need to upgrade on our left back because he's getting older, losing a bit of his pace, losing a bit of the tenacity. Go and get one of the best left backs in the league. You're talking about creativity because we're losing out on Trent. Go and get one of the best number 10s in the world. That's your creativity. And we haven't even stopped there yet. There's plans of a centre-back. There's plans of getting a striker. Why would you then be worried about what everyone else is doing? Because they have to play catch-up. Last season, they finished 10 points behind. And have they bought anyone to kind of go, that's where they've closed the 10-point gap yet? No. Norgard or signing, Kepa doesn't close 10 points gap. So they're going to have to go out there and do something outrageous in the window. Yes, will they have key members back? Saka missed a big chunk of the season, so you're going to have him back. But are the guys going to start performing again? No, I think D's right. The Partey thing, you guys should never have lost him because he came up trumps for you guys, especially when he played us. And he had to go out right back to keep Diaz quiet, even in the other legs, sitting in the middle of the park. The work he does in there. So you think unless you're planning to move Rice back there and then or you put in Zubimendi, he has to get used to the Premier League as well. The pace and the tempo.
Do you rate Zubimendi?
No, I think he's a baller, but this is a Premier League, bro. Like, he's gonna be a baller. It might take him a bit of time, or he might come in and hit the ground running. I'm just speculating, but I'm just looking at what Partey offers, and I'm looking at what he can offer. He offers control. Partey offers you solidity, and he can offer you a bit of control as well in there. But I don't know, man. Let's see. I don't see how they close the 10 points gap yet. I don't see it. And we've now gone. No two seasons are the same. So, I'm not going to say that we could win it with less points. But what we've gone out there and done is, look, we're not sitting here resting on 10 points. We want to go out here and dominate. We want to go out here and do bits.
I think Liverpool's floor is 90 points next season. I'll say that now. Do you get me? Because we didn't get it this season. We didn't get it this season. We didn't get it though. I know we didn't either at the same time, but we didn't go out. We didn't actually get it, but we didn't bolster the squad enough to say, right, if we needed to push, can't we have the squad that'll get us 93, 96, 97?
Sorry to cut you, Errol, yeah? You see what you're saying, yeah? You see at the beginning when you asked me the question about what me and Matt were saying, this is exactly the issue. You see how confident they are, Matt? You see what they're saying? You see Ends talking about he ain't worried about us. You see Errol talking about their floors, 90 points and all of that. You see all of that? That's exactly what we've got to brush to the side. Man can't be saying that about our team. Our team's one of the best teams. We're one of the best teams in the world.
You guys were saying the exact thing about us last season. What are you on about?
But tell him.
All Arsenal fans were saying last season was, we're not scared of Liverpool. It's us and City till the end.
Yeah, but you proved your point. You proved your point. You had champagne bottles. You was popping champagne.
But now you're complaining that we're being too confident. But
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we can't allow that. I'm saying we can't. We should be as a club. We have to shut that down.
Premier League trophy for a second. We got
a mini Premier League trophy.
Yeah. We got to dust it off, man. Make sure.
Hey, D, listen. D, I hear you.
You don't win the league, you know. Make sure you don't win the league.
Listen, all I'm saying, the window's not done. And you know, Errol asked about what signings. He said Vinicius Jr. Yeah, let's be realistic. We're not signing Vinicius. I think we're going to
sign Rodrigo, though. But you think you're going to sign Rodrigo? I think that's the same level. That's the same craziness as well.
No. But the thing is, people will laugh. But I'm telling you now, we're going to sign 2 game changers where everyone's going to be like, oh my God.
But who's the game changer? Who do you class as a game changer?
You need at least 3.
Who's a game changer?
No, but the thing is, me personally, I think they're gonna go and get a winger. I don't know who. I'm not gonna. Don't know the names. They're linked with Eze, Rogers, all these lot.
But Eze's not a game changer. Eze's not a game changer.
That's bullshit, by the way. Eze's definitely a game changer.
No, he's not.
Listen, I'm telling you now, we signed Eze and a Rodrigo and a striker. I'm so confident we win the Premier League. I don't care.
Matt, can I ask you a question? Where are you playing Eze if you buy him?
That's the frustration. That's where I
Left
don't
wing.
know.
Left wing.
Because I don't know. Do they sign the winger?
Goes there.
They sign the winger and then put Eze in the 10. I don't know. Or do they go Eze left? Which I don't think is that.
I think you have to play him through the middle, bro. This is where he's made his mark now. Through the middle, that's where he's made his mark.
Honestly, right? You could go in a time machine and get 2012 Messi, and I'd still be confident. The problem is not your players. It's
the manager.
You can say what you want.
You know what I'm saying?
No, because look, I'm gonna say it here, right? You're an idiot if you look someone dead in your eyes with a straight face and say Arsenal have not got a good team. They have. I mean, it goes without saying they've got the second best team in the league, right? Obviously, they're in it for some part of the of the title race. They've not got a bad team. It's just that fella on the sideline. That's all it is. That's all Arsenal's problem is. It's just that fella on the sideline. You can bring in any player you want, but do you really trust Arteta?
That fella has one more season. Yeah, no, I hear you. He has one more summer, innit? One more. This is the year. We said it before. He has nothing after this. There's no more chances. You don't win anything. If we're in Jan and we're like points off, you can cut.
Do you think the board sack him? If you don't win anything?
No, they won't sack him. They won't.
You know what? I agree with D. I don't think it's one of when they're nice to Arteta, innit? We've gone how many years now without winning something? Yeah, we've got a new sporting director. I don't know how he is in terms of dealing with managers and stuff like that. However, if we get to Jan, there will be conversations if we're not involved. He told
January,
us.
have you seen our fixtures, bro?
Yeah, but everyone says fixtures, but I don't know about you lot, but I always prefer the tough ones first. I do.
Yeah, same. But our fixtures are we've got Anfield away, we've got Liverpool away, and Newcastle away in the first 5 games. Man United away, Man City home, and Nottingham Forest.
But
so we could either be in the title race or out.
Yeah, but you prefer to play teams early. No one adjusts and gets into position in the first 10 games.
Do you know what? Can I just add what I think you guys would have to do from, like, jokes aside? I think you guys need to definitely get someone to help Saka. You can't keep using this brother and letting him play that many games. You need someone to rest him to get the best out of him throughout a whole season, or else you lose him again. I think you need to go and get someone, not for Saliba, for Gabriel, because when he's not in the back line, we've seen how Saliba starts moving. He starts moving like someone that ain't where you guys have put him on this pedestal. Not you guys on the panel, but for some Arsenal fans. You can see he's not a leader. You can see he has bozo moments within his games. And then you guys need a striker. I think if you go and get those positions kind of filled with proper class, I think that's when I'll be like, do you know what? I don't see where you guys falter here. It might we have to be 100%, and you guys have to go out, and then it comes down to when we play each other. That's the way I look at it. But Saka can't play every game. He just come back from the long-term injury. You're going to run him into the ground again next season. He's going to go missing. Then you're going to be like, who do I play over there? Then you haven't got no one because your main focus is, this left side. Then Gabriel, when he goes, who's at the back that's going to be the leader in there? No one's the leader when he's not there. You can clearly see that. And then you don't have a number 9 up there that actually wants to put the ball in the back of the net.
There you go. There you go.
We're
the only top team with players in our team that we don't want in the team.
That's mad.
There's not many teams that don't want players. We don't want Havertz in our team. We don't want Odegaard in our team. We don't want Martinelli in it. That's 3 players in the first 11 that half the families don't want in the team.
Well, that's where it comes from the manager, isn't it? Signing Havertz was when it went wrong. I said when we
I know, but when the question was at the beginning was when you was talking about what your window and how you feel about the window, those 3 players are still playing. If you think Havertz ain't going to play this season, Havertz is still playing. Martinelli is still playing, and Odegaard's still playing up to this point. That's the point I'm making. For us to overtake Liverpool, we've got to get players and be happy with our first 11. That's the bare minimum that we've got to have.
I hear you up to this point. I hear it, but then I'm like, let's say we sign a Sesko or a Gyökeres, does Havertz start every game? No, listen, me and D are cool about Civil War. Does Havertz start every game?
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Listen, everyone wants war. Hey, D, you see this? Yeah?
That's my guy, bro.
But you know what? Can I just say as well, yeah? I feel like in the Premier League, let's be honest, you do need an element of luck in the title race as well. You do. Liverpool were fantastic. I admit it. I said it. Like, I think they lost to Forest and who's the other game? Guys, I can't remember.
I can't remember. We don't lose many
Fulham,
games.
Chelsea, and
Yeah. But that Chelsea one was already done.
Right.
But I think you need a
Matt, this guy makes a good point, though. I think if it was me, just based on recency, I think that would be. I think that goes to what D's saying in terms of when the fan base is so split over players that should be in and out of the 11. If Odegaard had to hold bench for a little bit, but you had Eze in there do on job, you wouldn't mind Odegaard coming in for a game or two to give him a little bit of rest time.
Yeah,
am I right in saying that?
Yeah,
you're right. I think Odegaard, we don't know, was he injured, but there was something wrong with him. We all saw it when he come back from injury. He just wasn't the same player. I think Eze in the 10, we've got to have him there. I've seen Eze, and I'm not saying it because you lot on the panel, but I've seen Eze play well against Liverpool. I think there was that game where they beat you lot 1-0, was it?
Yeah, last season.
A few seasons ago.
He's a baller. This season as well. Play him in the 10 at Arsenal, he'll cook. And I do agree with ends. We can all banter, we all laugh. Liverpool are set the pace. If I'm Arsenal now, I look and I go, how can I close the gap? If I'm going to look in the Premier League, what players can I sign within the Premier League that can close the gap a bit? You've got Eze. I like Morgan Rogers as well. You know what I mean? It's between the two in terms of what you want to do in terms of that position. Striker, Gyökeres, Sesko, get whoever it is, but put the ball in the net. That's it. You know, because defensively we're good. I don't want to see another centre-back. This and that. I'm tired of all the centre-backs here.
You need firepower. You need the firepower now.
This is it now. All out. But listen, I'm envious of Liverpool. I can't lie. We're going to get into it anyway. I'm envious to see Kerkez there doing the cap, holding the flags with Zoboslai. Then you've got Frimpong here enjoying life already. Like, it's frustrating watching. And my mum's a Liverpool fan. My cousin's a Liverpool fan.
Big up Mumsy every time.
I'm
Big up Mumsy, you know.
This is why mums are the best people in the world. This is why mums are the best people.
My mum was like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking of going to the parade." I said, "No, I'm not driving." Watch it on TV. Watch it on TV.
Nah, man, you should have drove her down, bro. Let her come in and enjoy it.
You man enjoying it, smiling.
Hey, to be fair to her, you made her watch a little Errol masterclass on the TV, so you know.
Big up, bro.
You know what I mean?
We love that. Just obviously. So if Arsenal are here, you know, just midway, stumbling the way through this transfer window, I need a bit of a roundup of what man you've got cooking up, to be honest with you, because it's been a minute. It's been a little bit quiet on the Manchester front, if I'm being completely.
Can I just say something?
He's in a dark room. He's in a dark room.
No. Can I just say something unbiased, right? Can we all agree?
Okay. Everyone got jokes, yeah? Sorry, Greg.
Listen, can we all agree? United last season was a fluke. That's not going to happen again this season.
Facts. It's an anomaly.
Not going to happen again. Like United are obviously going to finish up in the top 10. Yeah,
I disagree. Bare minimum. Let's
ask the question. Bare minimum 12. How? Just you know when you say, go on, Greg.
Come on. Just you get a new manager halfway through the season, yeah, and he's not, you know, he's using that other fella's players, yeah, and he's trying to come at, like, it's obviously going to go wrong like that, but it was a recipe for disaster. It was a recipe for disaster, but I just think like look, I'm just looking at it from an unbiased point of view. Come at, like, United a big club, man. Like, it's not going to happen again. Like, they're not going to finish. We never thought
it was going to get worse than what it was. We didn't know it was going to get this bad. And then
but they were still consistent. No, but United were always still consistent. United were always still consistently fourth. It's been fourth and seventh. Don't do that. That's the thing. That's the thing. United were always consistently fourth and seventh, and then all of a sudden they go to 16th or 15th. Come on,
15th, like, man. Yeah, right.
That's an anomaly.
It's dark. It is.
Bro, that is the same as relegation to me. Man United finishing 15th.
Man United, 100%.
No, I agree. I loved every moment of it, and I do hope it happens again. But realistically, it's not.
But what you're just saying it based on the fact that they're a big club and we're used to seeing them winning. But
no,
if you
I'm
look
saying
at
it I'm saying it on the fact that they were consistently finishing between 4th and 7th every season for like the past 5.
But if you look at the teams,
and then all of a sudden,
they've got to overtake teams like Crystal Palace that are there nowhere near.
Yeah, Crystal Palace are losing all their players anyway. You're talking about Eze. Liverpool are linked with Mark Gahey so strongly. Come on, Palace are losing their players. I think they're not going to be the same force.
Let me before I go to the Man United, let me just say this one or two things. I think Greg is right in that it was a recipe for disaster getting Amorim in when you did. I think there would be a lot more optimism about Manchester United's next season if Amorim was the first bit of business that you did this summer. If you would have just said, boom, Amorim's the new manager and he's going to get to work and he's going to get cracking. He wouldn't have the battle scars of all of the missteps that he's done for the last 6 months.
Errol, that should have been the move last summer, and that's where they messed up.
And that's
all this ownership has done. He's made terrible mistake after terrible mistake.
The second thing,
it's been dreadful, monumental fuck ups. That's what they've been on. So this whole thing of United can't, of course it could happen again. They don't get their act together and do what needs to be done in the window, it could happen again. Obviously, the window's still ongoing, but incomings and outgoings is key. Manager's a joke, we know that. United just need to sign talent, put the talent out there on the pitch, and it'll win X amount of games. That's literally where we're at.
The thing is as well, knowing you said about it's a recipe for disaster, if that was the case, they didn't believe that, otherwise they wouldn't have changed them.
No, they
thought that the fact him coming in was going to be what catapults them up. So you saying that it's always going to be a recipe for disaster? That's not what the board.
Yeah, but that's time. That's about timing, though. You got to rate like that. That's poor timing. That's not them making a.
But they assumed that it was going to be.
But it was at the wrong time. That decision.
No, because Amorim didn't have a choice.
I know that's what
he had a choice. No.
They did force his hand a little bit.
He had a choice. Don't give him an out. He had a choice.
I'm saying
he could have said no.
Yeah, he could have said no, but then he wouldn't have been the manager.
So just say no then. You know what I'm saying? You could say no. Let's not do that because hindsight.
Protect your reputation.
Because if United would have performed well this season, nobody would be talking about him joining.
Exactly. It would have been a great decision. Great manager.
Let's not do. No one put a gun to his head. No one threatened him or his family. He chose. So you know what? Like we're talking about Berta and being at Arsenal, being the direct, your Manchester United manager. This is what comes with it.
Like, 100. Like I'm not defending Amorim. I think he's doing quite a poor job. I think tactically he's quite inept. I think his way of playing isn't bad, but the way he utilizes the players, regardless of whether they're his players or not, there's gaping holes that need to be fixed. And I think in pre-season, if he doesn't sort those things out by match day 10, there'll be fans saying we want him out, including myself, because he will have potentially 5-6 new players after this summer's finished, and there's not going to be any kind of excuse. Yes, obviously it's only 5-6 players, but how many players can you give a manager before you start seeing how the manager wants to play? I believe that a good manager comes in and he identifies problems and he changes things slowly as they go along, and then they earn the right to get as many players as they want. They don't just come in and demand 10 new players, although the quality of some of the players that Ten Hag signed were absolutely horrific. But I do believe that Amorim will be under a lot of pressure, and the games that we've got, you're looking at Arsenal home, first game of the season, then Fulham away, potentially Burnley at home, then City away, then Chelsea at home, then Brentford away. I mean, it's realistically, barring the Arsenal and City one, he needs to win all the others. He has to. He needs 4 wins out of 6, and the season needs to start, because as well, United aren't in any Europe, so there's no midweek press conferences for him to say I haven't got enough time on the training ground, and him doing 57 interviews a week. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Just put the tactics that you want to do on the training ground. If the players aren't doing it to your tactics, then he should be able to adapt to the players and not make the players adapt to him, because at the end of the day, you're a manager, you're a coach. You should manage the situation, but you should coach the players you have. If the players can't play free at the back, then you have to do something differently. Otherwise, he'll find himself middle to late October, where we play Liverpool away on the 18th of October.
That's my birthday weekend, bro.
Oh yeah, I didn't know
sorry.
that. We play Liverpool away the 18th of October. Oh yeah, that's got sacking written all over it. It's got sacking written.
Welcome to the Arsenal Penitentiary.
It's got sacking written all over it. Actually, sorry. Let me tell. Who's the 2 games after Liverpool? Actually,
So that's what I was gonna say. It gets worse because it's Brighton at home on the 25th. That's our bogey team. We don't beat Brighton.
Yeah. We never beat them.
Forest away 1st of November, and then Spurs away.
Nah, you know what will happen? Everyone will think we're gonna lose to Liverpool, and they'll get like the Villa thing this season just gone, and like Ten Hag got a result. Man will get a result, and then they'll lose to Brighton a certain, and then get sacked.
I think one of the issues with Amarin is obviously because he will have been keeping an eye on what was happening when Ten Hag was at the club, and he probably noticed that Ten Hag came in with a lot of, not necessarily ego, but he came in with a very determined, dogmatic viewpoint of, I am going to do things my way.
Yeah.
And over time, that energy or that light dimmed in him. And he tried to do the Tezza approach of being like, right, well, let me just try and get the best out of what I've actually got, because currently it's not working the way I want to be playing football. And Amarin's coming in and been like, by hook or crook, I'm doing it my way. So the players are going to have to adapt. Where I agree with what Greg is saying, though, is it's almost like, and again, I'm sorry if anyone in the chat or on the panel, families that have had problems with alcoholism or gambling or anything like that, sometimes you have to hit the bottom before you can start going up. For me, Man United are never going to be, in my lifetime, I can't see them being in a position where they ran that bad on and off the pitch that they end up relegated. But as JD said before, 15th is relegation for a club the size of Manchester United in terms of what they lose financially from not being in the Champions League or any European competitions. So I feel as though if there was ever a moment that you have hit the bottom, last season was that season for you. It now needs to be an opportunity where Amarin does enable the team and the players that he gets in to start playing his way, because I can't see him wavering or folding and going, oh, right, you know what, we'll go to 4 at the back. I'm going to change up this way. We'll be a bit of a back 4, but it's a bit of a flat back 4. We're not going to use progressive fullbacks at all. We're literally just going to become a bit of a counter attack. I can't see him trying to do any of that, to be honest with you.
See, the thing is,
can I ask the Man United fans a question? Can I ask the Man United boys a question?
Yeah, go.
Well, obviously, Arteta and Amarin are under the most intense pressure that they can ever be under right now. They're the 2 managers under the most fire right this season, yeah? But what would be an acceptable... What are you guys expecting this year? Like, what would you say, okay, he's done a good job to finish in what position? Like, what's good for Man United this year?
Get back into Europe. For me, top 6.
Top 6?
Yeah, top 6.
See, bro, nah.
No, see, Greg, you started this.
No.
I know. I never said that.
Hey, Errol, get control. Hey, how come the Arsenal segment's so controlled that the United one's just free for all? Nah. We ain't doing this. The Arsenal one's all controlled in that. You know what I'm saying?
What's your expectation?
In regards to it, forget. I've been saying this. Forget like where we finish in the league. I'm just looking for improvements across the basics.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Start there. Implement the basics. That's what I need him to do. Also, on top of that, it's tough to answer because I don't know how we're lining up. How does our team look? Is it vastly different? Is it just this? How many players do we add? Who do we get rid of? That's the most important.
That's the big thing. Who is now? You've opened that up. Who are the ones that are on the chopping block?
We know the manager's no good to us, so we know that. Who's the team? Because that's what's going to pull us through. If we sign certain players, we'll be all right. Somebody already mentioned it on the panel. I think it was Greg who mentioned it about Crystal Palace. Teams in the league are getting weaker. We've already seen that. Palace are going to lose players. Bournemouth, they've lost 3 of their back 4. Brentford and Bremo will leave eventually. They lost Thomas Frank. They lost Norgard. So there's teams in front of us who are losing players, and that could still continue. So with that, how does the team look?
All of that business.
They could lose Wharton. Wharton. You got Eze at Palace as well.
There's gonna be, I think it's 8 teams in the Premier League in Europe, and Man United won't be one of them. So in between Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Palace, who else in there?
Aston
Newcastle,
Villa,
Villa, Newcastle. All of those teams will be
Spurs.
Spurs as well. All those teams will be in and around where Man United want to finish.
Spurs are in the
So-
Champions League. I'm sorry.
I know, that's so mad, bro.
Oh my
So
god.
mad.
You couldn't even hold the laughing. That
I know,
just
that's
came out.
dark. That's dark.
Oh my god.
Mad.
No way.
Mad.
Crazy,
No way.
In between all those teams playing and some of them adapting to, you know, we saw what Newcastle squad was like when they were playing regular Champions League, decimated. Villa now Europa League, not Champions League. Spurs in Champions League for the first time in whatever many years. It's going to be difficult for them to keep up the intensity, whereas United really have a chance just by default to just win your game week in, week out, and you probably will, even if you don't have the best of seasons, you probably will jump 10 places, well, maybe not 10, but 6 or 7 places, because all the other teams, when it comes to April, May, they'll still be involved in major European competitions. Well, I expect City, Liverpool, and Arsenal to be, and I expect Villa to go far in the Europa League as well. And those teams will then have a decision to make to whether they focus on the league or they're still in the title race, etc. Whereas United can, if they are able to, what Flawless was saying, get the basics down, kind of slowly creep up and maybe maintain, which I think is respectable, a
So
top
you
6
don't-
finish.
No,
I don't think. I don't think.
Yeah,
we
it's
finish
dependent. Like I said to me,
top
how,
six,
yeah, of course.
how,
Nah, we don't
like I
finish
said,
5 and 6.
who-
We don't finish
who-
5 and 6.
You might want
who
to
do
go
we-
to 4. You want to go top 4 then.
who do we
Nah,
who
we
do
don't
we
finish
have?
5 and 6. I don't think.
Yeah, like it depends on who do we, like I said, who do we sign, who do we sell, and the rest of the league. Who signs what players the other team sign? Who do they lose? The managers move on. There's so many moving parts and so many variables with this. Once we're lined up and the window's closed, I'll know if United are serious or not. If
True.
it's the
But
team
I
we have
just feel like
from last
United,
season, it's gonna be
United
dreadful.
behind 4 or 5 teams already. For us to make that jump, I don't unless I see something different, as you were saying, with the way the manager wants to line up, not formation wise, but there's some tactical issues that we have that only signing the best players in the world will
But
kind of
with the better
negate.
players, they'll just, even though, like I say, it's back to the Oli era in regards to he was a terrible manager. But you know what? He had quality players. And he put quality players on the pitch and they got him results. That's
But
how
Oli-
Manchester United finished second.
It's true, but Oli was a little bit more sensible than Amarim because Oli didn't have this idea of we're gonna play in this way. I'm gonna have these tactics. He was able to.
He knew he was terrible. What he did was just put his best players out there 24/7. Man played players injured. He knew he couldn't coach nothing. He knew it wasn't a tactical thing.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
Yeah.
has had the highest finish with Manchester United.
So
That
it
is
tells
a
you a
real
lot about the league.
That is a real sentence, by the way. That is a real sentence.
Well, you're not
That
finishing
is-
up in that season. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. We finished third that season.
Yeah, crazy.
Jose finished second with United as well.
Yeah, but
Oh, so
yeah,
he's joined.
since-
Oh yeah, he said the last 5.
yeah, but Jose
that's
was
fine.
pre-COVID, man. That's
He said the last 5.
wait. Do you know the way United fans talk about pre-Premier League? So I think for me, man, it's pre-COVID, man. Pre-COVID doesn't exist. It's not a thing, man. Like pre-COVID footy just never happened apart from our Champions League.
That's a quick one. on
Pre-COVID
what
just
Greg
doesn't,
said.
it's irrelevant.
Far from our Champions League.
Just a quick one on what Greg said.
I was
You
going to
know,
ask you a quick question, Matt, and then if I can, please, for the
Go on, then.
non-Liverpool fans, how did you guys feel when a new manager come into the league and just wrapped up the Premier League in his first season? When
as I
there's
said, let's
other-
move on. Let's move on.
You know what? I'll answer that. It
No,
was
I'm going to add a different
I'll
part to it.
answer
Let me add a different part as well. So, how did you feel about a new manager comes in, wraps up the Premier League,
I'll
where
answer.
you've got manager? I'm not going to diss Ruben. I think he's just coming as well, so that's fine. But then you have other managers on like phase 6, and not even gone
Five.
not even come
Add it
close.
to the- Oh, it's 5. All right, cool.
It was
To answer your- Yeah,
Sorry,
go on,
no,
Ted,
no,
you
it-
go.
This is phase 6.
I enjoyed it when Antonio Conte did it with Eden Hazard and Diego Costa and them on. So I enjoyed it then, but not with Slot.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
pre-COVID, man.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, guys. Pre-COVID, man.
In regards to it ends, obviously despise your mob. So seeing you lot win the league terrible. But however, it just gives me ammunition to dunk on City and Pep and Arsenal. So that's how I looked at it. Whoever loses out is getting dunked. Whoever don't win the league this season, out the 2 out of the 3 who don't win the league, hey, all my focus is I've been saying this.
It's a fact.
Peps are great. Don't let Slot get 2 over you. Don't let Slot beat you again.
I can't lie.
That's because it's uncomfortable conversations if he does that. Pep one of
No,
the
it's
goats.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's
Don't
very
get carried, don't get carried away.
Wait. What did you say?
Very
Flawless?
uncomfortable.
Wait.
It's very uncomfortable.
Repeat that one. Repeat that
I
one.
said
Gordon.
if Slot beats Pep to a league title again, especially with all the money they've just spent, you one of the goats. That can't happen. But if I sat here and said, no, yeah, let me
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, of course you're not.
Let me hear me out. If I said Slot was close to Pep in terms of manager, man ain't trying to hear it.
Yeah.
If I said they're close, man ain't trying to hear it. They're in different universes, are they not? Someone stop me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, they are.
But you're going too mad. You're going too mad.
No. Stop trying to defend Pep. I'm not going too mad. It's uncomfortable conversations. Then what happens?
Pep's on 4 in a row, bro. Pep's on 4 in a row, bro.
Pep's a goal. He's solidified. One of the best managers ever on Mount Rushmore. All of that stuff. Not disputing that whatsoever. However, if he loses to Slot again after all the money they've spent, they got an incredible team over there. What's the expectation going into the following season?
Yeah, but the difference is
He's put himself in the top drawer. He's put himself in the big league. That's all he's done. That's it.
So then
Would he go into world class manager category then?
Yeah,
if he wins the league again.
If he does a double back to back,
against that.
There's only 2
with that team. Let's not act like that City team some terrible team on paper.
Exactly.
A quality outfit on paper. These are the uncomfortable conversations we have to have.
You know what?
Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let Matt, because Matt's been waiting to land for a minute.
No, I just say, first of all, Enz knows what he's doing. But
I know.
He knows what he's doing, first of all, yeah? Because I watch Enz with every team we talk about. Enz just be sitting there like this, smiling and that. It's cool. However, let me just say, when Slot come, I was like, oh, thank God Klopp's gone. They're done. They're not winning the league. And then I can't remember what game it was. And he did something smart with the tactics. And I went, no, I'm not liking this, you know. And I think
took
Salah
off first game of the season. Took him off.
No, and do you remember when Salah said, oh, I don't defend as much. I just do my job in the final third. I went, this is it. Because we were like, why is Salah scoring so much? He didn't have to do so much. Gravenberch had a first 6 months, madness. That little fake move he was doing, I was like, look at the confidence these men have got. And what is with Liverpool, whoever they were bringing in was doing a job. Yeah. And I keep saying to people, if you look at Liverpool, they're the only team where someone will drop out and you go, oh, he's injured. The person that comes in does a job. Conor Bradley come in, didn't miss Trent.
Mbappe, boy.
Keller come in goal. Listen, Keller in goal. I don't know where he come from, yeah. And he's making these worldies. I was like, who is this guy? Like, you know what I mean? And that's what Liverpool are good at doing. And if Slot goes and does it again, I'm chasing Arteta, mate. I don't care. We've got to win the league next season. There's no ifs or buts.
I heard you this last year, though, Matt, and I heard that the season before.
No, but if you remember, Enzo, I've always said he doesn't get anything beyond this season coming from me.
I hear that, but I've heard you say that same line. He has to win the league, and then it's another season.
You know what?
It's another season. Right?
He bottled the first one catastrophically. The second one, whatever happened. This one is like, come on now. Like City
was your chance. That was your time. City went nowhere.
Do you think he wins the league this? Do you think Arsenal win the league this season?
Do you know what it is? I'm with you, like, in the sense of there's something about Arteta that worries me every time.
That wasn't the question, by the way.
Yeah, that wasn't the
question. You know what? I didn't want to say anything because I don't know Matt that well. If Enzo
no, Flawless. You know what is? No, Flawless. You know what is? I look at our team. As an 11, if everyone's fully fit, we can beat most teams. I don't think we lost to the top 6 last season.
You're a good side.
What cost us is them annoying draws. If we can just
Arsenal isn't the 11. The issue is that when push comes to shove in
the dugout,
tight margins, Arteta goes to being defensive rather than offensive.
This is it. And what I will say is,
small margins.
Flawless. Ask me the question because Matt is skating round it. He's not answered it. It was a yes or no
Matt,
question.
Okay. Let me ask.
I'll go one further. I make as constructed as everybody is right now. So yourselves, City, Liverpool, 27th of June, 2025.
No.
You win so you don't think you win the league?
No, right now, no.
And then he gets sacked. You should sack him then, bro. If you don't think
No. The window's just started. When did you lie? Chill.
Let me just do this there quick because I'm this for me feels like one of them shows that's probably going to run over a little touch after the hour. I'll be honest. You know how we do out in the cartel. We normally just kick it for an hour. But right, we've got over 150 odd people in the building.
Come on.
We've only got 50 likes. So let's run up those likes. Another 10, 20 if you want to see us stay online for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes past the hour, because this is a conversation that I think it'd be too good to just pull up and stop. Also, just wanted to get this super chat in as well. Yeah, BH saying thanks for getting Greg involved. He's a big fan. So yeah, of course, we bring you the best guys. We've got some good people again. This is one of them cartel panels that I'm like, yo, I could sit here and just chop it up with you guys for the rest of the evening, but I know everybody's busy, but I still want to make sure that we lock in and we get some good content. So that being said, Flawless, you had the question for Matt. Run it.
Oh, you know what? He did live. I was like, that's currently constructed. No, we don't.
Actually, I've got a question.
Yeah.
To the Arsenal fans, let's say you sign all the backup players and you need to sign the left winger and the striker. Who are your preferences? So who's your preference striker and who's your preference left winger?
I'll let D do the striker one because I can't lie. I keep flip-flopping on the striker. I do. I keep saying
like
I want
you do with the
Gyökeres.
manager.
I keep saying Gyökeres because he bangs goals, but then I'm like, will he work when you're playing certain teams that I just don't know. I don't know. So I let D take the floor.
Like you do with the manager. This guy ain't slick, you know. Just everything. Man catches everything.
You're moving like a prime fisherman, bro. Your net is different, bro.
Yeah, it's different. Now, mine's straight Gyökeres. You know why? Because I like people that do what they're meant to do against teams that they're meant to do it against. So people always say like, "Oh,
I like that answer," you know.
I like that.
Yeah, you're doing it in Portugal. It's only Portugal. Listen, if you're in Portugal, you're meant to show that you're better than them. And he scored 60 goals. So he just said, "I'm better than all these guys. I'm not playing that." That's what I want. I want Ronaldo when
Suarez
he plays against
from Ajax. Suarez came from Ajax and made.
And said, "I'm better than all of these." Yeah, just moved. You see when Ronaldo plays against Almeria and he scores like 4 or 5 goals. You know them guys there. They don't mess about with these stupid little teams. Gyökeres plays these crap teams and scores hat-tricks and 4s. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's on. So that's the player I want because I know
can add to that. He did it against City. Remember when he played City? I was like, oh, now we're going to see what he can do. He went down against City. Yeah, and even though we beat him, he still did well against Saliba and Gabriel. And I was like, right, this guy, he's got something
I want him because he does what he's meant to do against teams he's meant to do it against. That's how I judge players.
But then you man tried to troll him, though. I see Saliba and Gabriel doing his celebration to troll him in that.
Yeah, because he didn't score. He hit the bar, though. Yeah, he spun Saliba.
Yeah,
no, but they felt like they had to go and troll my man, call him Looker Man and that. Baby club. I don't know if he should join you, man. If I was him,
relax, bro. Relax.
He's on strike, so he obviously wants to come. You know what I mean?
And then the left winger, then if Gyökeres is kind of like
left wing, obviously. If I'm not gonna do the whole dreaming thing about Rodrigo and all that, but. The left wing is a bit more tricky. Depends. If we get Gyökeres, then I'll be willing to get more of a substandard left winger because of.
I'll be honest. I think the left winger market is shocking.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I don't think there's that many standout players. There might be ones that look good on the ball, but in terms of actual deliverables and outputs,
it's terrible.
Krakovic, however you he was the guy.
That was the one.
Yeah,
he was the one. Anybody got him? Any of our teams get him? We're elevating even.
I want Kudos. When Kudos was man the match against us, he played on the left against Timber. That's Timber's hardest match. The hardest game was Kudos. Kudos was ripping us to shreds, but Timber kept having a battle with him. I will take Kudos.
Hey, do you think he turns? Do you think he's one of them that turns up when he wants to, or do you think when he's in a team as?
Nah, he's wicked.
I've got reservations because if he's in a team as competitive as Arsenal should be, I'd expect him to turn up 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Whereas when he's currently at West Ham, he's like, oh, there's only like maybe 8 big games of a season, and I'm going to get up for those 8 big games, and the rest of the team I can just kind of get carried a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I like the fact that when he's on the pitch, you're not upset with him playing. Like right now, Martinelli's playing. I'm annoyed that every time I look at the team sheet and they start popping up on the screen, Martinelli comes up. I'm vexed. I'm vexed already.
You know what? Just adding to what you said, Lee, I think what we lack at Arsenal is on the right side we have Saka as that game changer. What you can do, what he produces. The left is so awful. When I see Martinelli, even like you go back to its critical moments, PSG missing them key chances. We need someone.
He missed the 1-on-1, yeah.
That's a killer in that left winger. And I can't remember the last time we had a 1-on-1 demon on the left.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Sanchez probably. Sanchez.
I just have a simple. Sorry, man, but I just have a simple question.
Right, go on.
No, because when you diss in Martinelli, and I hear it, right, but it was only like 2 seasons ago. You guys tried to tell, not you guys on the panel. That's why I'm just, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Arsenal fans, right? They were telling us, "Yo, Martinelli is this, and Martinelli is that, and Martinelli's a well beater, and Martinelli should be in the Brazil squad, and he's the best left winger." And we're like, calm down. He's all right, but he's still got a lot to learn. And now we're hearing
listen, I'll be real. I was one of them that him and Saka were at one point with the same level. But the worst thing about it is, Saka's outgrown him, but how can our team outgrow? We've outgrown Martinelli, and he's 24. How can outgrow a 24-year-old?
I think Martinelli, the biggest thing for him is, and I've always said it from day, he's not a left winger. Like he moves. Martinelli's one of them players that he moves to Spain or Italy. They play him as a 9 with someone close to him, and he has the space to run in.
He's not good enough on the ball. He's terrible on the ball.
He doesn't have to be good enough on the ball because his best strength is off the shoulder, running in behind, and he's an instinctive finisher. I think if Martinelli now moved to Aston Villa, I'm using Aston Villa because Aston Villa use their strikers in the same way as kind of like, well, Emery, I should say, uses a striker in a similar way to how I'm thinking Martinelli would be best used. I think he would do a lot better.
Well, and that's funny you say that because his best, apart from the 2 seasons ago, one of his best returns was when Emery was actually managing him. So we've already had the case in point and the evidence to show that the way that Emery would manage somebody like Martinelli's profile actually worked.
He just limited. That's what it is. He had that one outstanding season, but like class is, form is temporary, class is permanent. And
he is limited, and that's why I think he should play through the middle because you get someone feeding him off the shoulder, 1 touch, 2 touches. He'll get you goals. He will score goals. He just won't do the way Arteta wants his wide players to play on the touchline, be able to beat man 1v1, sometimes a double team, triple team. I don't think Martinelli is good enough for that. Saka is. Sometimes people even triple team Saka. Saka still finds his way through. And I think if you then was to get someone on the left who can do half of what Saka can do, and Martinelli was then to play some minutes through the middle, I think you'd appreciate Martinelli a bit more. But him being that left winger where the responsibility comes to him, he just head down runs. And if he can't get through,
I want players that no matter what system you play, I don't have reservations about. That's the type of player.
Everyone's that good though.
No, but we're going for the league, bro. Like no one thinks, Slot's coming in, so Salah might have an off season. No one thinks that.
Yeah, but Salah's a different level. Salah's your Saka equivalent.
Yeah, but no one thinks that.
Well, even that's outrageous, by the way.
I'll let it slide.
Look at Diaz.
You know what I didn't see what I did there, guys.
You got there, man. Saka over Salah. Hey, sorry, go on, carry on.
No, Salah's the best. I see people saying Yamal's better than Salah. I still find it baffling. But
Isn't Garnacho not for Theo as well? Can you know?
Yeah, man, you can take.
Yeah, why are you looking at left winger, fam?
Yeah,
they're looking. We're not. We're right.
Take Ugarte as well.
Players for sale.
Listen, I don't do business with people that finish 15, so I don't know what's going on. So don't let them get all carried away about Garnacho.
Nah, true. I want to know when Man United will be back.
But signing players from the Brazilian second league, crazy. But go on.
I would love to know when the United are going to be back. That would be.
Don't sign players 15 from the Brazilian second league is where it's at.
I don't know because
that's all I've got.
I'm not a Man United fan, so I don't know what Man United being back means, right? So I'm just asking.
You say back.
When are they going to be?
Hold up, Tez. Say that again, Enz. What did you say there? Sorry.
not
I
saying
want
United.
Man United to be back, first of all.
I'm not a United fan, so I don't
Yeah.
know what you would class as United being back. So what does that mean for you guys? Because Man United has been rightly slow in the dumps for a minute now.
You say that, but still 5 finals in the last 5 years, including 3 wins, 2 European finals, won 1 out of 2. It's a lot more than most teams. Arsenal ain't won no trophies in the last 5 years.
Greg, listen, Greg, you're falling for what these men want.
Hey, I
That's what
like
they want. That's what they want. Why are you falling for it, man?
Yo.
Oh my god.
Man, that's what Ends wants. Ends
What
wants.
an answer that was,
Ends
bro.
wants.
Yeah, you know Enz well, man. We know what he's like. He
No,
no,
listen. Ends be there smiling at everything.
Yeah, he wants chaos. He wants chaos. He wants chaos.
I'm
He wants
telling
chaos.
you. No,
because he smiles and says it's softly spoken. People don't
I'm
talk.
telling
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, isn't that?
I'll be like, oh yeah.
I know, he puts his hand up, looking all innocent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it, man. Man, he'd be like, yo, I just want to know, yeah.
Can I just say something, Man United?
I didn't want to be rude and speak over anyone. That's why. Sorry, man.
No, you know what? Even though I'm an Arsenal fan, we support Liverpool. I think with Man United, I think when you look at they need to sell so many players. I think what Man United really miss is something in the center of the park. I think if you look at any games, they're always getting run through. Like, you know, when they're playing them Europa League games at the beginning. No, but it's true.
Yeah,
Teams running straight for the middle of them. They had Eriksen in midfield, and Casemiro, he started quite poorly, obviously.
That was more on the Ten Hag, though.
Leave the fuck.
No, but I'm saying just in general, having
No, Matt is right because Gravenberch did that as well when we played that.
I think
Yeah,
they
that was
missed
Ten
that.
Hag.
Yeah,
No,
he
but
didn't
in
do that the
general, I
second
think-
time around at your place.
Ten Hag was a madman. Ten Hag had weird. Ten Hag was actually fraudulent as well. The signings he was making, there needs to be investigations because he was signing man that were associated to his sporting agency, so he was getting a cut into his offshore account. So
He's still doing it
Ten
now.
Hag era was
He's still doing it now, innit? I Liverpool, he's still doing it now, innit?
But
Yeah, he's still
in
doing it
regards,
now.
but in regards to it ends when you ask about quote unquote Manchester United being back, it varies for different people. We have an ownership. I've already said this that ain't serious. That the world of Manchester United being a dominant team at the top of football is not going to happen. Can we get back there? Yes. 100%, because you can get there if you look across the right manager with the right recruitment. Yes, but in terms of being a dominant force and winning things back to back, no, that's not gonna happen. Our ownership ain't serious. You know what I'm saying? Like people at all.
You know what I find baffling about that though? Like we all think, and I think most of us would agree around the panel, in the event that Arsenal fell off a cliff next season and fell outside of the top 4, that's when you'd see the board level like act. Arteta's got to go. We've got to try and reestablish ourselves back in. Like Man United's board have allowed you to dissolve and kind of fall off grace this bad. What does it have? You'd think just being outside of the top 4, outside the top 6. All right, now we're finishing in the bottom half. At what point is enough for them, man, to be like, raw? Or do you think now that Ineos are in play, they're like, well, we've got the perfect shield. We have got the perfect buffer between the fans and another face of ownership that absolves us from any real accountability.
Yeah, with the Glazers, we knew what it was. As soon as Manchester United finished, because it was a straight money play. As soon as Manchester United finished outside the top 4, they was making moves. You now have Ineos in there. And what's crazy is the Glazers would have done, they wouldn't have allowed this to happen. They would have done sacked Amorim already. They've sacked managers for less. Go back and look at all the managers since Fergie. None of them had it this bad. So with Ineos, they've just proved themselves that I didn't want them in the first place. All they've shown is their incompetence. Because it's just a domino effect of mistake after mistake. It's not one thing they've done. It's not 2 things they've done. It's multiple things. Like, for instance, just not sacking Ten Hag when you were supposed to, which then adds into why Amorim's in the situations he's in. Even though Amorim's done a dreadful job. His job was made much, much tougher because of your incompetence. And what's crazy is literally this summer 2025 is a mirror image of summer 2024. We're talking about the same things, exact same conversation. You're just changing the manager's name. Some people think Ten Hag was good enough. Some people think he wasn't. Some people think Amorim's good enough. Some people think he doesn't. The whole Ten Hag needs his players. Now it's Amorim needs his players. We're watching literally a mirror image. And then we're going to get to October, November. There'll be split. And then what someone will do is there'll be that split screen all across the socials. It'll be Ten Hag on one side, Amorim on the other, and it'll be their records. And when Amorim's record is similar to Ten Hag's or worse, everyone's going to go, well, you sacked Ten Hag for this. And so why have you not sacked Amorim? And he's got a point less or a point more, and the football's just as bad. And and then they're gonna sack him, and then they'll probably go and get another manager rather than rectify the mistake and not get an interim, because that's the smart thing to do. They'll go get another manager, and then he's gonna come in, and then he might just be as bad as Amorim or Ten Hag or somewhere in the middle, and then we're gonna be back here summer 2026. Like I say, incompetence, man. This manager's just not smart people.
I do agree with a lot of what Flores has said. I think the only difference with the Ineos being in charge is that this is not to give them kind of grace period, but this is they're trying to organize and create an infrastructure first before then getting rid of the manager. Whereas under the Glazers, there wasn't that. So there's Barada, CEO, there's Vivel, and now there's Wilcox. They want to establish that and give them a period of time to then try and bring in people for the manager. The biggest issue for me is that they keep trying to bring in managers who have funny ideas. I'm going to say funny ideas because old classic Man United kind of way of playing football, pacey wingers, one striker, maybe one in behind, two midfielders or three in the middle, and you build from there. And you buy good players. So when you bring in a manager, it's not so much that you have to then alter the whole 15-16 to this manager. You're bringing in a manager who can deal with being the face of Man U. What we've been doing in the last couple of years is we're bringing in a manager with all these funny ideas where we're halfway in between football's progressing to a possession, but it's actually we need to play counter, but we need to be this. We just need to go back to what do Man United do and not what other people do. And that used to be we sign Premier League proven players from like slightly below us in the league, and we promote players from the youth, and then we build from that, and then everything else is coming from the academy, and we replicate that from top down and down up. All this stuff where you're bringing in a manager who only plays one system, and this manager who's been in the Eredivisie for 3 years and he wants it. Forget all that nonsense. Just go back to basics. Go and find a manager who's going to be the face of things, get good coaches and good players, and then build from there. That's what I would do. And I think
that's one thing. That's one thing they have done well. That's one thing they have done well is recruitment. They seem to have the eye when it comes to incomings. When I look at the players we've been linked with, players we brought in, I go, yeah, that's on point. It's just that everything else. Yeah, like bringing in Cunha makes sense, and Bremo makes sense. All the strikers linked to the goalkeeper, all on part. I go, yeah. Even last summer, what they did in January, hear it. It's just that everything else outside of that is just so bad. Like, how do you
putting it all together, innit? Putting it all together.
Honest, you just said in Buemo, Ornstein just spoken.
What do you say?
So he goes, they said Brentford, Buemo has told Brentford and Tottenham he will only join Man United if he leaves Brentford. Man United proposals of 45 plus 10 and 55 plus 7.5, still short of Brentford's valuation. Talks are ongoing. How much do Brentford want from Buemo, please?
Big up to Brentford. They want big money for their big players.
They were talking about they want 60 initially, and then add on.
They don't want cheap money that they got for Norgard, bro. Talking about bad boy players, bro.
No, it's understandable. They want
stop. And you know he's with Ends. Ends will do it, and he'll go, "What? That was it? You know what you're doing, bro?
See your game." But yeah, with that, yeah, Brentford they want a little bit more money. I think that deal will get done. Like I've never been in doubt. All that talk and like during the summer, like people like, yes, Manchester United are in a dreadful state. 100% on the pitch, off the pitch. I've spoke in depth about it, but people were making out like it was the end. Manchester United won't be able to sign anybody. And Bremo rejected 3 clubs playing Premier League for us. Yeah, but people just overlooked that. Rejected Spurs, he rejected Newcastle, he rejected Arsenal. Respectfully, 2 of those 3 definitely in bad football.
Matt, he did reject Arsenal, bro. Let it go, man.
Yeah, he did.
I don't really
same way Gyökeres rejected you lot for us. It happens.
I don't know.
Yeah, you agree with that one, though. Yeah. You agree with that one, though, innit?
Yeah. I'm the same.
In the top half. Because they're still Manchester United. They're still going to attract players regardless. And even if it's not, the most world-class players out there, you're still going to get the somewhat very good players who play for these lower teams who are like, yeah, go ahead, Sam. go to
And
them.
that's what we need to be doing, because when we go for the top players and overpay and give them mad wages, we're not trying to do that anymore. We're trying to buy player. If we're going to buy a player for a little bit more money, at least have the decency of them being Premier League proven. So 62 on Cunha or 65 on Mbeumo is a lot more sensible than 75 on Sancho. Because we've seen them replicate something in this league and know that they have the physical level, technical level, than just, we're not in a position to try and sign Sesko, let's say, and say, let's go and put 65, or Højlund as we did. We need to stop doing that. We need to sign players who, if they're going to be, closer to home, and if they're going to be for a bit larger transfers, it's going to be someone who you can at least say, well, if we didn't sign him, probably one of our rivals did.
Yeah, and you're weakening, so you're stopping one of your rivals getting stronger, and you're also weakening a lesser team in your league domestically by taking one of their better assets. Is the aim?
And it makes sense. That makes sense. I'm with you on that, Tezo, in regards to buying players.
I think
buying players from within.
Underrating Cunha and Mbeumo is actually quite mad. When you deep it,
it's cold.
That's a cold duo there, you know.
It is.
That could bang. And if they get the strike, I don't know what you're doing regarding striker. I don't know if you're gonna go and get one, but I still think Gyökeres could still end up at United. I genuinely do.
Who gets the first trophy then out of Arsenal United? Then?
Arsenal, stop that.
Why
Stop
you
it. They ain't want to trade me.
Wait there.
There's more chance of United going to a cup final next season than Arsenal.
I would never admit Manchester United. You're crazy. You see this man?
Discuss it on the road.
Wait there. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible.
No clips. We're not getting no clips.
I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible.
Go on, Greg.
Cool story, Greg.
10 minutes ago, where he said that United have been to 5 finals in the past. Is it 6 years? Yeah. How many have Arsenal been to?
No, talk to each other.
No. I said Arsenal. That is you.
and it is. That's why you mentioned it there, though. And Mbeumo and Cunha, them two as 210s, fantastic as an individual and as a duo. You have that, but it's adding to it, and also more importantly,
man, I can see United like scamming a Carabao Cup or something.
FA Cup.
Do you know what I mean?
Nah, no more scam thing. No, we need to deserve it. I'm tired of this Ponzi scheme taking. We've been Ponzi scheme FC for too long, man.
Listen, you can scam trophies. It's fine. You know.
Yeah, no, we have been. Trust me, I know. That's all we've been doing the past 10 years.
I can see, United scamming a trophy like a Carabao Cup before Arsenal even get their hands on one of the just on anything. No, because the way I think about it like this, you may think I'm taking the piss here, right? Well, I'm not.
You definitely am. Yeah.
Nah, listen, bro. United knocked out Arsenal the FA Cup. Can we not forget that?
Remember?
Yeah. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget
it's not even just that. Amran got to the final of the Europa League. If you go a season before that, Ten Hag won the FA Cup. If you go a season before that, we got to the FA Cup final, but we lost to Man City.
You won the Carabao Cup.
Beat Newcastle in the Carabao Cup as well. And the season before that? Not the season before that. The one before that, we were in the Europa League final again under Oli. So
the way I think about it is right. I feel like United are obviously going to go for the domestic cups again. I think it's just one of them. You're going to just go for the domestic cups. Or just a cup run. Like this season, last season was the Europa League. You put all the eggs in the Europa League basket, didn't pay off. That's footy. I think this season it'll be like, look, just go get a cup run in the Carabao Cup. Arsenal won't do that because they're going to be going, we want the Champions League or we want the Premier League. That is why I see Arsenal. This is why I see United winning maybe another trophy before Arsenal. And
it could happen.
I'm biased in that, but I'm a Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't even say.
You know what? I'm on a wind-up team. I do accept, like, Man United can listen. If you were to say to me now, who's more likely to win a trophy, based on we don't take the cup seriously, we'll go for Champions League, Premier League.
Nah, you do take the cup seriously.
No. What? No,
that's not what they're saying, man. That's not what they're trying to say.
I think the likes of Odegaard or not Odegaard, Norgard and Kepa are there for those competitions that you haven't previously taken seriously. Definitely. Like having these, not necessarily because they're good enough across the board against
definitely.
Premier level opposition. You're only going to come up against that domestically. They should be adequate substitutes to fill in the gaps in those type of games. Obviously, to get you through the early phases. As soon as you look in semi-finals of a Carabao Cup, it's a different thing. Same with the final of it, and then same way with the FA Cup. But those type of signings to me suggest that Arteta now can't afford or does no longer have the luxury of just kind of negotiating with his board. It's Champions League or Prem. The board have probably looked at him and said, "Well, you've neglected the other two for the last couple of seasons. You think we'd be worth having a go at them next year as well?" Because they used to be safe bets
replacing
for us.
players though. Because Norgard would be for Jorginho, Zubimendi would be for Partey, and the goalkeeper. Did they not let their second choice goalkeeper go?
Yeah, it is. Ramsdale will be going.
That hasn't even upgraded them though. That's downgrade. Jorginho's
Yeah,
away.
whether it's downgrade or upgrade is not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about them being replacements type of thing. Like that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, with United, when I was talking about like, obviously we can win a trophy, but when United win, I want us to be playing well. Like, I want us to be performing better. Winning trophies is in our DNA. Like, imagine terrible, average, great. We gonna pick up trophies, whether it's a Carabao Cup or whether it's a FA Cup or whatever the case may be. And if we're better, it's about just being better across the board, though. Because I think that the trophies will come with it. That's how I'm looking at it. Don't want it to be like, right, United actually going to scam this. They've been awful all season. But they're going to win the FA Cup or they're going to win the Carabao Cup potentially, etc. It's got to be better.
Let me ask this then before we wrap up, because we will draw the show to a close in a couple of moments. Outgoings, if it was you right now and you were sanctioning people to leave and go out of the door in order to obviously free up some space, or just because they are simply not at the level, I want 2 or 3 players that you've earmarked to leave your football club this summer. And I'll start on my end from a Liverpool perspective. I would expect, and this might be a little bit controversial now, if Konate does not sign that extension, bro, you can go. Big man thing. You can go. I don't like it. I don't love it, but I'm not looking to get bit again.
In this window? To go in this window?
Yeah, because we can get a fee for him. People would pay for him right now. There would be a fee for him. So that might be a hot take, but that would be my first one. And my second one, we had this brief conversation on Enzo's show earlier today. Harvey Elliott, you need to think for yourself now what is the best possible future for you as a football player. And I believe that if, the fee that we could command for you, I think all parties would be quite happy if you went and got a top 10 move into a Premier League that's going to guarantee you first team football. So they would be footballing decisions, non-emotional, not sentimental. Those would be at least 2 players that I would allow out of the door from Liverpool. Matt, what have you got for me? Who needs to go?
Look, En's laughing already. Look, I even started. Look at this guy, En. See what I'm saying? I ain't said nothing.
No, my bad. No, it's my fault. Sorry.
Do you know what? We've done it before to Arsenal fans. Eds! It's a yellow card over here.
You know what? For me, I think Zinni. I think it's time he'll go. It's annoying because a lot of them have been injured, innit? And it's hard to sell an injured player. Jesus, I'd like, but I think time's up on him. And Tomiyasu, I ain't got time for him no more. I think, to be fair, I think Tommy goes, I think Arsenal are trying to be the nice team, but you can't depend on him. And that's the thing. And, like Dee was talking earlier about players that we don't want at the club anymore. Unfortunately, I don't want them anymore because of that reason. We need players to be available. We're chasing, as you call, the apex team right now. Yeah, so we need everyone available for the assault on Liverpool. So yeah, Tommy, Zinni. Oh, actually, I forgot Havertz, innit? Sugar. Okay, Tommy, Zinni, Jesus. I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah.
Okay. Pattern. Flawless. Talk to me. Man United's perspective. Players that are on the fringes. Even players like Rashford potentially. Who needs to go? Who has no?
How long we got left in the show? I'm saying I got a long list. It comes to getting rid of players, yo. Like the long ass list. Yeah, all the players who have been rumored with that linked with moves away. So the likes Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund, Anthony, Sancho, Onana, all them, man. And then to add into that players who haven't been linked with moves away, but the likes of Shaw, Mount, Maguire. Yeah, that's pretty much enough. Yeah, throwing Dalot. This goes on. The list is short of who I'd keep, if I'm being really real. But from a realistic standpoint, all the players who have been linked with moves away strongly need to go. So that is Højlund, Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, Onana. Them players need to be moved on. we don't move them on, we fail. Because teams are interested in them as well.
Yeah, facts, big facts. D, what would you be doing with the Arsenal team? What players would you be trying to negotiate for?
Yeah, like Tomiyasu, Jesus, Trossard, Havertz, because he's on 280 or 275 a week. That's madness.
I bet.
Yeah, because of the wages that he's on, it's just in the way. You know what I'm saying?
If he goes, then Arteta goes too.
But you know, there's
They're a package deal, innit?
no God.
Not even touch the ground.
No, man. Yeah, those guys on high wages, man.
Okay. Teza, do you agree with Flawless's assessment that there's probably more that you would get rid of, or it could be easy to say who you'd keep potentially?
Yeah. Do you know what? The controversial one that I wouldn't let go of, and I know fans will think, what are you talking about? Is Højlund. I think
you're a nice guy, you know.
I don't actually mind that.
You too nice, man. And because we cool, that's why I'm letting it go. You just a nice guy. That's what it is. Go.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because I think you bring in a striker who's going to lead the line and be the number 9, and you still have Xerxes, and you take the kind of pressure off Højlund, and he's now the 2nd/3rd choice, and he kind of goes under the radar, and you allow him to learn off Xerxes and the other one. I think then we can really say, all right, you know what? If he's really not about it, get rid. I think it's a little bit too risky to get rid of him and just bring in one more, because I still think we'll need another one if we did that. But definite outs, I agree with most of what Flawless has said. The only one that he hasn't mentioned, I would get rid of Ugarte. I don't want to ever see that guy play for my club ever again.
Hey, fans, I'm with you, man. I ain't fighting for none of these. I'm with you.
We need to start being clever and start doing like a, when supermarkets do a 2-for-1 thing, like come you sign Sancho, you get an Ugarte as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
put it near the two.
Yeah, little aisle. That's what we need to start doing.
Mad.
Ugarte, and then the other one is Onana. Those are the two. Well, obviously Sancho and Rashford, obviously, and Anthony, but Ugarte and Onana. I think we upgrade those two positions, then I think we become a lot better team.
No, standard. All right, then. And finally, the Liverpool lads. I know I gave you my hot takes, but who out of the squad do you think it is time to move on?
You going first, Greg, or should I?
Nah, I'll let you take that.
How about you go ends?
Nah, listen, man.
Huh?
We're struggling to get rid of players, man. You know what I mean? Talking about championship players. I'm playing. I think Nunes, we need a new number 9, so we'll get Nunes out. I think Elliot, exactly what Errol said, he needs to think about himself now. I don't see I don't want to lose him, but I don't see how he gets in the team currently. And I'd probably say Tsimikas, because I think Robbo will stay. I think keep Robbo and then let Tsimikas go. That will be the 3. Trying to look around the squad is difficult. I know you guys need players, but can't really give you any of our bad boys. Yeah, those are the 3.
None of that. Greg, what about yourself before we wrap up?
Right, so I agree with what En said there. As much as it hurts me to say, he gave me one of the best away days of the season at Brentford. Darwin Núñez.
Not Newcastle.
I said this season.
We don't live in the past.
Obviously, Newcastle the other season was
this guy.
I'm talking about this season.
Oh, okay, I thought this season.
No, this season, man. Don't worry. Newcastle was the other season, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. But I think it's not worked out. It's been 3 years. I mean, how long can you really give a striker to score goals? Do you know what I mean? On a consistent basis.
Yeah.
It's one of them. You wish it worked out. It hasn't. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. You can defo upgrade him. So if you can get a bit of money for him, maybe 40, 50 from Napoli, go on. You take that in it. That's 40, 50 million pound in the bank extra that you can throw towards someone else. I don't want to name any names. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. I'm not saying any names, but I know this one's going to sound a bit controversial because I know Ed said Costas, but you know what? I've been a big advocate for him to stay one more season at Liverpool, but I think Robertson.
Okay.
Because, and I say this because I think Robertson, he's not, I don't know how to phrase this, like he's not getting catastrophically worse, but he just isn't that good. And I would rather see Robertson go somewhere else and just play happy football instead of just being a bench warmer at Liverpool. Because for me, I don't think I could see that. Like it would hurt me. As much as like I'm excited to see Kerkez week in, week out, it's just like, I don't know, man. I can't. It's just I don't want to see.
Don't you think Robinson will still play at least 20, 30 games this season? Just to bed Kerkez in
20? No, nah.
Nah.
Honestly, like I think if Robinson was to play, I think Kerkez starts at least 25. What's it called? No, not 25. At least 30 maybe league games. At least 30.
But I mean across like all comps though. I think there's a case for Robertson.
Yeah, but then the only games that Robertson would probably play is like, you know, the cup games and, you know, the European games that don't really matter because you've already got the top 8 or whatever. So that's just how I see it. And the thing is, Costas was already doing that anyway, and he's perfectly happy.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not saying that Robertson's worse than Costas because I still think Robertson's better, but I just think I would rather.
He knows that role. I
would rather Robertson leave, and he can just play out the rest of his days.
You know the other thing as well, Greg. They would listening to Kerkez's interview as well. The way he speaks about Robbo as if he's in awe of him as well.
He wants him.
Yeah, he wants him there, man. He said he wants to learn from him. So that could be where the club makes an executive decision, going, look, we'll give him an extension, sell him the year after. That's what I'm kind of going with. And then Tsimikas, even though he's happy kind of doing the bench thing, it's like I'll rather play 27 to 29 games and stay at Liverpool than go elsewhere. But yeah, I think Robbo makes, for me anyway, I think it just makes a bit more sense. Give the kid enough time to.
Someone in the chat just said Chiesa goes without saying. Shut up, lad. That chance is generational. No, he is not. No, that chance will take us to a double. What are you on about, fella? Nah, cut it off, lad. Errol's
just before we do lock off the stream, everybody one by one, give us a shout out what your channels are, where people can find you, because this has been one of the latest red cartels that we've done for a minute. But, big up everybody, big up the panel, big up obviously the chat for sticking with us and vibing for the last hour and a bit. So Flawless, you run us through, and then we'll go around D, Tez, Matt, Greg, and then obviously ends.
Yeah, blessings, big up for having me on as well. Shout out the panel, man. Enjoyed this as well, despite the unnecessary United shot. So big up to all of you lot. Run up the like, hit the subscribe button on there. You might have not nice people, but yeah, Sarcasm City TV on YouTube, Sarcasm City TV on Playback. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Playback live every day, so you'll see all the content. Follow my new Twitter as well, people. Yes, it's Flawless. Yes. That's the new Twitter. So yeah, follow me on the new Twitter, please, if you was following the previous one. And big up for having me as well, Errol. Appreciate it.
Every single time. Make sure you do. These lads are always pumping out some of the best content on YouTube and about even some of the hot takes on Twitter as well, even if you just want to follow them there on social. So make sure you do. D, tell people what you've got going on this evening, what kind of content you've got for lined up.
Yeah, we got tonight, 10 p.m. We've got Trench Talks, and it's just mandem and just madness over there, quizzes and chaos over there. I need you, man, to come on when you man are free. Anytime you man are free, you man, just jump on, man. It's madness over there. But yeah, it's me and my cousin Fams on TV.
That name's fire. Yeah. Trench Talks. That name is
Trench Talks. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, my bro. But yeah, Fams on TV. Me, Arsenal fan. My cousin Dean, Liverpool fan. My cousin, it's just chaos over there. It's just a mandem yard. You get me? That's just all it is. You come over there, take off your shoes, and you can just stay there for weeks. But the PlayStation upstairs, the drinks in the fridge, everything to do your day. Yeah, come on, bro. Love for having me on, man. This show was just lively. I enjoyed this one. I could have been on there for hours.
In it. It's one of them ones. Yeah, talk to us. What have you got going on?
So TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Mainly Twitter. Tezki on all of them. D's at SKII. But yeah, thanks for having me on. It has been lively, actually, to be honest. The time flew by.
It is, I swear
This has
down.
been one of the best ones. It has.
Swear down. I know, yeah, because you guys are regulars in it a lot of the time, but yeah, this panel seems to just work. Yeah, differently. Matt, thank you. Big up for giving us your time. Thank you for your debut on the Red Cartel. Hope you've enjoyed it. Give us a shout out for your channels, your socials, where people can find you.
Back of the Net podcast, Twitter, TikTok. I'm really pushing them ones more than anything. Like TikTok lives every day. Enz's biggest hater people. So come through, come catch me.
Yo, Yeah.
Back in that podcast. If that don't pop up, just abbreviate BOTM podcast. But listen, appreciate Errol. Thanks for having me on. And listen, today was too good. I've looked up at the time. I'm like, what? Hour and a half already? Honestly, it's been a great show. Thanks.
Respect, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, just in case you needed any more certification that Trench Talks is elite, you heard it there.
I'll
The
be
chat,
tuning in.
no,
Tonight.
the chat. Yeah, 10 p.m. The chat.
Tonight,
Tuning in, man.
I'll be tuning in, man.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Greg, let people know Wagwan, what you saying.
So I think I put it in the chat on YouTube. I'm not too sure if it's showing up or what, but all my socials, well, my Twitter's Greg is local LFC. You can find basically that the Twitter's the main one. From there, you'll find all my other things. But if you know me, lad, the Twitter's the main one, lad. So yeah, follow me there, and you find everything else. I try and post on TikTok, like funny kind of football edits and like commentary and that. But yeah, there. If you go to my Twitter, you'll find everything. So go check it out. Thank you very much. And Errol, once again, lad, thank you for having me on.
Blessings, bro. Anytime, Arkid, anytime. And ends, man. Whoa, what a day we've had, bro. Swear down, the 2 shows today, and both of them have been lit. So again, thank you for your energy. Thank you for the enthusiasm. Thank you for some of the shots that you've been firing at a couple of them there as well. Let people know what you've got going on, what your channel is, and where people can find you.
Big up. Appreciate you jumping on my channel and obviously the invite today as well, man. Honestly, the chemistry between this panel, elite today, man. Love it. And the shots, these guys got bulletproof vests on, man. They're good, man.
Moving like 50 Cent, lad.
They're good.
Yeah, shot 9 times and still standing, man. Somehow, I don't know how.
But yeah, on Twitter, Ends TV, and on YouTube, Football with Ends. New channel. I say new. Been doing it for a little minute now, but we're growing slowly, surely. But the people are building. We're building a great community, man. So if you guys want to come and support the Liverpool side, non-biased, great conversations, loads of laughs, come and check us out, man.
Love for that. And as always, people, stay locked. We will be back. Red Men 2. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you follow everybody on and around this panel for us, because we're going to continue to put these shows out in front of you guys. So hopefully you guys do some of the admin as well. Like it, share it, get it out there into the universe. Let people know that we ain't rampant. Liverpool ain't rampant. The season, the transfer window's hot and up. And we will be back again next week with another Red Cartel special. So I'll catch you all later. Have a blessed weekend, my people. Stay blessed.
Peace.